Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel, That Campervan Thing. We are Gary and Annie, and today we're going to do a bit of cooking in the campervan.
Well, you say we are, you are. I'm going to be head cameraman, and Annie's going to be cooking. So Annie, what are you going to be cooking?
It's going to be a kind of biryani style tandoori curry special, campervan special.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to this.
It should be good. Just thought it'd be nice to just show the sort of things that you could cook if you were struggling for something to make while you're in your campervan. Curry's a bit of a no-fail. You can't really go wrong, can you?
Well, you do a good curry, so this will be fine.
Fingers crossed. Here we are guys, here's a sneak peek at the finished curry, and it was delicious. Okay, so I'm going to show you what ingredients I'm going to use to make this biryani style tandoori. Just been to Aldi and got a few bits. We'd already got a few bits at home, so we only really needed chicken and oh, what else? Oh, microwave rice. Microwave rice is a bit of a lifesaver for a campervan curry. I'm going to put a carrot, some mushrooms, a red onion into the sauce, and I've got 2 chicken breasts, a bit of butter, a few little salt and peppers, and I've got this Raja tandoori masala mix, a bit of tomato puree, and a pack of microwave rice. And a couple of garlic cloves, just to bring out the flavour. Okay, so first I'm going to cut the chicken up. I'm not going to use the board to chop the chicken. I don't like using the wooden boards, and I feel like it's a bit unhygienic, so I like to cut it with scissors. I have washed my hands. So I've got the chicken chopped up. I'm just going to chop the onion up now. Chop it quite roughly. Doesn't really matter, doesn't have to be thinly sliced. Roughly sliced is fine. And then I'm going to chuck it in the pan with some olive oil and cook it down for about 10 minutes on a medium heat. Okay, so I'm going to be cooking in our cast iron Dutch oven, which we like to use in the campervan. It's I'll show you, it's here, it's on the table. It's got a lid, which is also a skillet, which we have to oil, that's why it's a little bit shiny. And then it's got a base that you can use. I'm going to use to cook the curry in. We like cooking on cast iron because it's not toxic. I know you can get lots of things for campervans. I know Gary likes he likes the ridge monkeys, which are great. I prefer these cast iron, more traditional. If you look after them, they'll last 100+ years. So a bit of olive oil. And turn that on. Get that nice and warm and get the onion in. So just slicing the garlic as thin as I can now. Just so it spreads the flavour out evenly. So the onions are reducing down nicely. Probably just need another 5 minutes or so. Okay, so next I'm going to start chopping the carrot. I've given it a good scrub, so I don't need to peel it. I'm going to chop it nice and thinly so that it cooks in the steam in the pan. So the onions are just starting to stick a little bit now. And they're starting to kind of catch and burn. So that's a good time to chuck in the garlic. Give that a little stir. Don't want to leave the garlic in for too long cooking, because if you cook it for too long it'll go bitter. Okay, so I've got some mushrooms. I'm just going to chuck them in. I'm going to chop them quite roughly. These are just going to reduce down as soon as they go in. So the garlic's nice and cooked enough now, so I'm going to chuck some tomato puree in. We want about a tablespoon, roughly. That's about enough. And just give it a mix in with the onions and the garlic. And that will help thicken it and give it a nice sauce. So you want to let that cook for about 5 minutes. So the onions and the garlic and the tomato puree cooking down nicely. I am going to add some butter. I've just got like a chunk of butter. I didn't really measure it out, to be honest. I just kind of chucked a bit in there.
Perfect.
Yeah, so as soon as that butter's melted, I'm going to chuck the spice in. Got a nice tandoori spice mix, which I got from one of the supermarkets in the Asian section. I'm going to chuck in about 4 teaspoons. Some of my teaspoons are heaped. But this mix is quite nice. It doesn't matter if you put a bit too much in. It's not really spicy or overpowering. There we go. I'm also going to put some pepper in. I've got these little pepper sachets. I'm going to put 4 of those in. And that's just ground black pepper. So give that a good stir up. You don't want to let your spices cook for very long. Maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Otherwise you might burn them. There we go, that should do. And now I'm going to chuck in the chopped chicken. I've got 2 chopped chicken breasts. And turn the heat up a little bit. So we can get that chicken cooking. The nice thing that I like about this cast iron Dutch oven is when you're stirring it like this, it just doesn't move, it doesn't slide around because it's so heavy and solid. You don't have to worry about it moving around. So you want to really keep stirring this every couple of minutes just so that your chicken doesn't stick, because we've turned that heat up now. And if it does start to stick, then you can just add just a little bit of water. And that should do the trick. It's starting to smell really good now with the garlic and the tandoori. Okay, so after about 5 or 6 minutes, you want to chuck your carrots in because they're going to take longer to cook than the mushrooms. The meat isn't completely cooked yet, but that doesn't matter. And the carrots are going to absorb some of that water. So you might want to just put a little bit more in at this point, or put some in if you haven't already put some in. And just give it a good old stir. The carrots shouldn't take too long to cook because we slice them so thinly. They'll only take 5 minutes or so. Okay, so the carrots are cooking really nicely. They've absorbed some of that nice water, that curry flavoured water, and they've got a little bit longer to cook, maybe another 5 minutes. So I am going to add the mushrooms. And these are just going to disappear into the curry. As they cook, they'll just shrink down into nothing really. So give that a good stir. And you can see it starting to thicken up. That's thanks to that tomato puree. And and the onions, as they cook down, they help to make the sauce as well. So I'm going to give that about another 5 minutes and let that just all cook down and thicken up. And once that's cooked, I'm going to add the rice. Okay, so last bit now. The curry is cooking down nicely. All the vegetables are almost cooked and the meat's cooked. The sauce is starting to thicken up. So I'm going to add the last bit, which is the pilau rice. I'm not sure all of that's going to fit in, but I'll try and fit as much as I can in. And this is why I call it a tandoori biryani, because the spices that I put in were the tandoori spices, which was that tandoori masala mix. And the biryani bit is the fact that it's cooked with the rice in it. That's why I call it a biryani. It's kind of a twist really. So before I put this in, I'm just going to kind of mush it up a little bit in the bag so it doesn't all come out in one big long piece and go everywhere. Because we may not be able to fit all of this in. We'll have to wait and see. But the nice thing about microwave rice is it's already cooked, and when you put it in, you're just really heating it up. Gosh, this bag doesn't want to open. Okay, that'll do. So because I mushed it all up, it just comes out of the bag really nicely. I'm just going to cover the top and let the liquid get absorbed into the rice, and that'll help to cook the rice down. Sorry, warm the rice up. Gosh, that's the whole bag. Didn't think we'd get all of that in. So all I'm going to do now is just stir the rice in. Really carefully, because obviously the pan's getting a bit full and I don't want to make a big mess everywhere. And I bought pilau rice because I figured it's already slightly flavoured and it'll just add to the flavours nicely. You can buy plain if you like. I mean, most supermarkets do a really good range of rices. Microwave rices, you can buy loads of different flavours. So this is where it's really handy to have one of these pots with the lid, because once I've mixed all of this up, I'm just going to put the lid back on and let the steam warm the rice up slowly. And because there's liquid in there, the rice will absorb some of that liquid. Even though it's already cooked, it'll just carry on cooking and it'll just absorb some of the flavour as well. Okay, so that's pretty good. Just going to flatten it off a little bit, so when I put the lid on, it's easy to just slot it on top. Let's turn the heat down first. We just want it on the lowest heat now. And I'm just going to slide this lid on because the pan underneath is going to be really hot. There we are. And I'm just going to leave that to cook for maybe about 5 minutes, just let it heat through. Because it's cast iron, it holds the heat really well. So the bottom part, because it's been cooking for quite a while now, the bottom part's lovely and hot. So all of that heat's just going to go straight into the rice and cook really evenly. That's the other reason why we like cooking on the cast iron. The heat's dispersed properly. Whereas when you cook on some of the other stuff, I don't think it cooks as well or as evenly. So yeah, in a few minutes time we'll have a nice tandoori biryani. So while the food's cooking and we're waiting and we're hungry, we thought we'd just explain why we decided to make this tandoori biryani campervan special. I kind of made the recipe up when we were campervanning in the summer, and it became one of Gary's favourites.
Yeah, it was really good actually. I'd been off out for a walk, and when I got back, she cooked up this amazing curry, and she'd never cooked it before, so I didn't know where she got it from, but it was absolutely banging. But on that occasion, it was slightly different, wasn't it? Cause
yeah.
You actually used steak instead of the chicken.
Yeah.
And it was really, really good. So I'm hoping this will be as good, but obviously not quite as extravagant with the meat choice for today.
I mean, chicken, any meat's going to work really.
Yeah.
Could probably make it with mince. It's more about the flavours. I think the steak was nice because it was really tender.
Yeah.
But I think when you cook it in the cast iron, I think it cooks slowly. It cooks it really well, doesn't it? You don't really get burnt or dried or hard bits. It tends to cook it really evenly through.
Yeah, it was really good last time. I can't wait for this time. So hopefully I can cut to us trying the food next, because I'm famished now. It smells really good. Cheers.
Cheers. So I've just rolled the tea towel up quite a few times, and I'm going to lift the lid off, because you don't want to touch this, you'll burn all the skin off your hands. And there we are. Just turn the heat off, and there we are, it's cooked. All that lovely moisture's been absorbed into the rice, and all the veggies are cooked. Chicken's cooked. Time to try it. I think if you wanted to, you could make this vegetarian easily. You could replace the chicken breast with a tin of kidney beans or mixed beans, maybe a handful of red lentils. You could put anything you want in, because the flavours work with anything. That's the great thing about curry. I'm not going to film me eating this, I'm going to burn myself.
I'll try it, chef.
Very good.
Right, so finally after sitting here and smelling it all, being tortured, I finally get to try it, so let's see what we think. It's got a bit of meat on there as well. It's good, it's really good. Considering how few ingredients are in there, it's got a real sort of depth of flavour. It's really nice. I think they'd put a lot more in. It's amazing, really. What a great recipe. Definitely give it a go.
The nice thing is the person that cooks doesn't have to do the washing up.
I wonder why you'd use so many different utensils and knives.
I don't think it's too bad. You're a good washer-upper, Gary.